Hi, I'm Susan Nicholas, and today we are going to talk about the energy of money and how we can think about money as a form of energy. Now, for most of us, that's quite a bridge for us to think of money as energy. We think of it as physical pieces of paper and pressed metal that form our coins. But have we ever thought that there is an energetic component to money and how that energy of money, if you will, affects how money flows in and out of our lives? So let's think about what is energy. Let's define it. Now, we have a few accepted definitions, but essentially, energy is the strength or vitality required to do work, whether that be mental or physical. And energy is also derived as the power derived from using our physical resources or chemical resources. But basically, energy is power. And we even say it. We say money is power. We think about it that way. We recognize the power that is behind our money. But what is that power derived from? And how can we begin to recondition our minds to see money for what it is? And that is an energetic form, a form of energy, an essence that's present here on our planet. So let's do an example. Okay. If I take this physical bill, it is made of paper. It's wood that's been refined into paper and that's printed in a fancy press. And inherent in this physical bill, there's a consensus value. But is it powerful in its own right, just the paper of it? And is the power derived from the number that's written on the paper? If this says 1, or if this says 100, or if this says 1,000, does the paper itself carry the power? What about these pressed pieces of metal? We have these pressed pieces of metal that, again, have a consensus value in each of our societies. But is the power in it, is that in this physical metal, is that where the power of money comes from? When we say, oh, not money's powerful, is this powerful? Another way to think about physical and energetic components of things is ourselves, our physical bodies. Now, we know that we have a physical form. It's what we look at in the mirror each day. That's what we take care of. It's what gains weight, what loses weight, what grows, what shrinks. It's our physical self. But we also know that we have an intangible energetic component of ourselves. And that energetic component of us shows up in our feelings and our beliefs, in our personalities. All these intangibles are the energy of us. Some people call the soul of us or the spirit of us another component of our beingness, again, which is energetic in its components. It doesn't have a physicality to it, at least not one that we can perceive. But we know it's there. We know that people bring energy to a room, to a conversation. We perceive energies of joy. We perceive the energy of grief. We perceive the energy of fear. And those aren't physical things, but we know that they are there, just like the energetic component of love that we have this great capacity for. We know when we feel it, and that's the energy of us being expressed. Now, what about if there's an energy of this that's expressed? The one that we express as power, like money is power. Money, we'll say, gives us a voice. What is the energy of that? And how can we begin to recondition ourselves to recognize that there is an energy of money too, and that this energy of money has its own unique consciousness, just as every individual person on the planet, every living thing, every being has its own inherent consciousness. So does this energy of money. Now, when we go through our lives, we realize that sometimes we're in the money, sometimes we're out of the money. Sometimes money is flowing, sometimes it is not. Why is that when there are trillions and trillions and trillions upon trillions of these physical dollars and cents kind of floating around? Why would there be a dearth? And then why would there be abundance of it in different scenarios, places for different people? Why? Why would it flow to one person and not another? Why would it flow to one country and economy and not another? What's going on there? When we can all chop down a tree and print a piece of paper. And so one of the things that I think is the most difficult with money is that it is an energy that we have a relationship with. And it is our relationship with money that determines this ebb and flow. And remember, our relationships, our feelings, our thoughts, our beliefs, those all build on our relationships. That's how we have relationships is, yes, we can physically be there, but it's the energy that we put forth in those relationships. It's if we love, it's if we care, it's if we have feelings. Yes, of course, it's in what we also do. But we have definitely been in situations where we're doing, and we don't have any feelings, and that relationship is broken. Or we can say when someone isn't there, they're not physically there for whatever reason, but the love is there, and that sustains the relationship. And think about us as just beings. When we shed these bodies, when we die and transition, there's a physical us that remains. But we know that the soul of us transcends, that something changes, something shifts, something leaves us when we, quote unquote, die. Well, we call that death of this physical form. But we realize that the soul of us, or the spirit of us, or whatever name you want to give it, is infinite and keeps going or leaves this physical body. So too, this energy of money, there's a physical component and there's an energetic component. And how do we have a relationship with the energy of money and the physical money? How do we do that? So let's think about a relationship. Let's say there are two, I would say, relationships that we all have in common. And that is one, the relationship that we have with ourselves. There's this concept of you, the physical you, and the you, the energetic you, being in alignment. And then there's this relationship we have with money. We all use it in some capacity. It is our form of exchange on this planet. It's how we share and trade value and services, products and service value. What about that relationship? How do you treat yourself? Do you ignore yourself? Do you abuse yourself? What about your relationship with money? Do you have hateful feelings about it? Are you afraid of it? Do you ever communicate with it? Do you acknowledge it? And so if we do not have a relationship with money, we cannot expect this energy of money to flow into our lives in harmony and balance. And one thing that is helpful with this energy of money and the idea of money having a consciousness, if you will, is how would you treat money if you loved money? Now, how would you treat yourself if you loved yourself? Think about someone that you do love and how do you treat them? Very frequently, we do not love ourselves as we would love another. We often overwork ourselves. We don't feed ourselves properly. We intoxicate ourselves with all sorts of toxic substances. And we couldn't dream of doing that to our child or someone that we love. We talk to ourselves very harshly. We're very critical of ourselves. We don't often love ourselves. And then we wonder why this physical part of us kind of doesn't behave. We're sick in our bodies and we're unhappy. Now, imagine that money is a relationship that we're in. And how do you treat money? And then how does it respond to you? Does money come and go? Does money seem to want to leave you immediately? Is it never around? Or is it abundant and flowing and always there for you? Think about money as a form of energy. Imagine that it has energy, even if you cannot fully believe it or embody this idea. Just give it a chance. Imagine money as a form of energy and see how money begins to show up for you. Thank you.